Hello, good morning, happy Tuesday. How you all doing today? Let's see. I wanted to do a quick little experiment with audio, if we can. So I noticed that the music sounds, the pretzel music, is showing up in the recordings that I can get out, and I don't know a way to remove that. And I heard that if I use a different channel, I might be able to extract it out that way, possibly. But I don't know. I think I'm using the same channel for both my voice and the desktop audio, which obviously is not the best. So want to figure that out. Albert and Juice, hello. How are you doing today? Yes, I am using OBS for that. So let's see. The only time I've ever used channels, advanced audio properties. Okay. Oh wait, is it channels or is it tracks? It's tracks, not channels. So desktop audio, I'm setting up on track 1 and 6. My mic is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Huh. I wonder if that means I could isolate my mic. Tracks, but you also have to set a VOD track. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Hold on. Is that in settings? Settings. Probably output or advanced. Oh, then you go to audio settings advanced. All right, so audio advanced monitoring device default, which I don't want to monitor. Disable Windows audio ducking, low latency. Hold on, this will be easier if I just show you. I don't think there's anything in here that can get me in trouble, right? I think we're fine. Okay, hold on. Where's my... Oh. Okay, hold on. I have to close you. Close you. Full screen OBS. No, that's a blank screen. That's not what I want. But maybe I can do that. Also, there's... Oh, that Twitch chat. I completely forgot I had that. Okay, what I want is... Oh, wait, are you capturing things now? Yeah, you're capturing things now. Okay, settings. All right. Oh, and output. Output. Okay, got it. So output, recording. Oh, so in recording, I set up what audio track I want out on, right? Okay, so I'm doing audio track 1 is recording. Okay, got it. So out of curiosity, if I come back to, I go to here, desktop audio, advanced audio filterings, I remove track 1, and now you're on track 6. Can you still hear the music? You can't hear the music. Okay, how about if I put that on 2? And my Yeti mic is on all of them. Huh. No music still. Okay, what if I put you on all of those? And I do see desktop audio is on here, so it's trying to send something out. Oh, I'm only outputting track 1? Okay, hold on. So settings, output. For streaming, I don't have that. For recording is track 1. I see here. For streaming, I don't know. I don't know how to like set it to what I'm sending out. Oh, so I might want to switch this around. Track 1. Oh, okay, so I've got output mode to simple. Okay, that would need to be advanced, which I can't do while I'm streaming. Okay, good to know. Hold on, let me put this music back on. So we'll have one more VOD with the music integrated. So tomorrow. Track 1 is live and 2 is VOD by default. Okay. We'll I'll play around with that later. I can't do anything while it's recording and live and doing all that stuff. Oh, so don't put it on track 2. Got it. Don't put it on track 2. Unfortunately, I think that it is on track 1 that it's recording. I don't know why. But when we look at the settings for output recording, audio track is 1. So at some point in time, I must have clicked that when I was trying to debug something or fix something, and that's probably not great. Oh, and enable custom encoder settings. Oh. Well, I mean, they're already, they were enabled, but I didn't have anything in there. Okay. Oh, that was canceled. Okay, so that should be good. I don't know if that actually will affect anything for this stream because we're actually live while doing that, but next stream, definitely, that should have an effect. So tomorrow we can set it up. So I've got a bunch of streams, obviously, that have the music baked into them, but this one, we should be good now. So if we head back to our Mac, we are, I think we're good to go for today. Oh, and you joined the Discord. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I'll definitely ask in the general channel if I run into any more issues or any questions about that. I figure it's gonna be a lot of testing, playing around with it, trying things out, and then eventually we'll get it. That being said, I'm very slow with creating the actual videos from the VODs. I'm not very good at that yet, so those are very backlogged. I have a whole bunch of them to get through. I'm still trying to figure out what I want them to look like and be like too. I'm starting to like have an idea, but testing needs to be done. All right. That being said, we can now jump in on what we're doing here, which is continuing to create a course on Docker. So in the last episode, last time, we started on deving with Docker and got through all of these articles, which is great. So now today we're going to continue on. We're getting into some of the more interesting ones. So for example, running the container without root. That's actually something that I don't think most people, I think people who know do it all the time. People who don't know do it, never do it, and don't think about it. Gee, how are you doing today? I go back and forth on it because I know how to do it, but I get lazy and then I don't do it for a long time. And then I forget and have to relook up like, okay, how do I create a user again in Linux? How do I do all that stuff? It's like, okay, then I should really just I've always thought about this, creating my own like base images that have like custom users and everything else in them for it. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of research to figure this out first. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's open up a new window here. Or a script that sets it all up easy. Yeah, that would also be pretty good, is have a script that I could just copy in, add/copy in, and then I can just run that at launch. That would be a good idea. Again, I haven't done it. I just always do it manually, like in the Docker file when I do it. Okay, so perhaps this time we should create a script for it, because that might be a good idea. And then, if we put that on a GitHub, I could put it on my GitHub, and then we can use the add or copy. I forget which one. Is it add that also can grab it from GitHub and copy just from the local system? It's one or the other, and we'll use one of those. Publicity, yes, exactly. Okay, so what do I want to do for this one? I want to let's go ahead. Part of research. We're going to. Oh, and Zilby's here. I bribed him with food this morning, so it helps. Okay, so let's go ahead and set ourselves up. We'll just do this full screen here, and we will create a Docker container. We'll just use Ubuntu. It can be latest because this is basic Linux stuff. This stuff, I don't think the way to create a user has changed in like 20 years. It's been a long time. So we're going to do a Docker run, do IT. We'll go ahead and remove it. Oh, it's -IT, double for remove. I don't need anything else. We just want Ubuntu, and we'll run bin bash. Okay, and then I want to create users. Now, if I remember correctly, there are no man pages because they've stripped everything out that they could, but still be Ubuntu like full version, which is still pretty heavy. But we can go look up some Ubuntu documentation. So docs create user. Is it user add or I think it's user add, right? Yeah, it's user add. So if we look at this, I think I can do it where it creates the home directory, which I may not need the home directory for this. And actually, it might be best not to have a home directory, but a group for it would be nice. So if I do, my general idea would be user add. I vaguely remember that I could basically tell it there's no home directory, right? So okay, so name or ID of the primary group or account. I actually want it to create its own group, which I think it can also do on its own, right? Okay, so here, I'm not going to do -m, so it doesn't create the user's home directory. Oh yeah, so -m, don't create the home directory. I'm going to let it create a user group. We are not going to create a password for it. And then in Linux, if you don't have a password, that's actually ironically more secure than having a password, because you can't like SSH into a system that an account that doesn't have a password. You can only connect into it from root, essentially. Ajuvasi, hello. I mispronounced that horribly. Sorry about that. Let's see. How are you doing today? You recently got offered an intern. They are using Ruby on Rails and Angular, and I come from a MERN stack. So how difficult will it be, and what should my approach be, especially for Ruby on Rails? Okay, you know Python as well. So they're using Ruby, and you know Python, and you come from the Mongo Express React Node stack. Well, I mean, if you know Python, so Ruby and Python are fairly Python people will hate me for saying this. They're fairly equivalent to each other. They came out relatively like at around the same time, give or take a few years. They're competitors with each other, and Ruby would have died, just faded away to inexistence, except for Rails. That's it. Like, except for Rails, as far as I can tell, has kept Ruby alive forever. So basically, if you know Python, it's you generally will be perfectly fine with Ruby. Just remember, it's like syntax changes. Like, there's syntax changes and there's some minor little other things here and there. It's very object oriented. There's tons of documentation out for it because it's been around forever. You probably won't have that big of a problem. And then for internships, I don't know about elsewhere in the world, but in the United States, internships are really considered like where you go to learn, right? Like, you're learning and improving. And so it's understood that you don't know everything, but it's also assumed that you're going to learn. You're there to learn and to improve, and then hopefully provide some value while doing so. So as long as you're going in, like, not with any negative ideas about like languages or frameworks or anything else, you'll be fine. I'm always big on like bringing people in regardless if they know the technology or not. Does that help? Yeah, Ruby is fairly easy to learn, feels very intuitive. JS and Python mix somewhat give you Ruby. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. I've done like a teeny tiny bit of Ruby, but it was only like within the Rails ecosystem. So it was mostly Rails stuff rather than Ruby, and it just felt like code. Like, it was just good old code. Who writes? There's an author, and she wrote a object-oriented programming book. For Ruby. Let me see if I could find, Sandy Metz. Okay. I think this is it. No, this is an Agile primer. It's, okay, so I need to go find Sandy Metz's stuff. So it might be one of these. I don't know. It's one of these books. It might be the Practical Object-Oriented Design in Ruby. I didn't realize there was an Agile primer book too. But yeah, Sandy Metz is an amazing developer. Highly recommended all of her stuff. She does a lot of teaching also. She has, I listened to a podcast of hers, and she had this amazing sort of like passive aggressive response to anybody who is like just like questioning her like simplicity in design, which is like, oh man, all of you students, you're so much smarter than me. Like, look at this. Like, you have so much complication in all your work. You have all these things going on. You have these tightly coupled stuff. You've got to spend so much brain power to really understand what is going on in your code. For me, I'm not that smart. I just have to just keep it really simple, and not have to remember all that stuff. That was in a podcast, very, very, very what is it called? Paraphrased, but that just made me love her instantly. Okay, so I think we're just gonna do that. Okay, so if I create this user and we're gonna call it Okay, I think my main reason for not creating users is I never know what to call them. what should my user be called? Docker user? It's like so long. Vivax, hello. How are you doing today? And also Tolkien, hello. How are you? I have a Windows computer that's up above me, and that's where YouTube chat is, and that's also where OBS is that's sending out the stream. But in front of me here is a Mac, so I'm mostly doing my stuff on a Mac. Abstractions, you don't need to understand the whole system if you got good abstractions, and of course docs for them. Yeah, exactly. User 1, user 2, and user 3. I hate doing user 1, user 2, and user 3, but I can't use just user because that will cause problems and misunderstandings. So and oftentimes, like, I don't necessarily know what, like, if I'm going to do this in a script, we could just cheat and make the person do it. Oh yeah, we could just do what? Yeah, okay, here we go. You'll just do U1. That'll be fine. So if I do that, this should create a user, right? So if we take a look in the password file, nope, that's not what I wanted. If I look at the cat Etsy password file, we should see U1 now exists. So I don't remember what the X is. Is that the password? But then we have the user ID and the group ID. And then, so it did create a home mapping for it, but it didn't create the directory. Now, for some of these other accounts, like, for example, there's an account named bin. Oh, okay, I get it. So then what I probably want to do, okay. What I probably want to do is do something like what I'm using with like where I put all the code, which is /code. That's where I love to put stuff. So if I do that, we can do make dir code, and then we can do user add. User add, I want the baster. So the baster is going to be code. Nope, that's wrong. I want home directory. Oh, is it like, is it D code? Don't create the home directory because I've already created it. Go ahead and create the user group, and then we'll name you code. Will be the name of the user. And so now if I switch users into code, if we take a look at PWD, we're in /code. So then we can use this as their home directory will essentially just be the place where we put all the code for them to work on. Tolkien, which language are we using? So we're not using any language right now. Docker was created in Go. So I guess like in some way it's that, but a lot of it is shell scripting. So a lot of it is like Bash or ZSH or anything else, like any other sort of like shell script type stuff. And then all the Docker files and everything else is just whatever configuration stuff that they're using. Okay, so that seems pretty easy. So if I wanted to, let's redo this again. We're going to exit out of view. Where do we want to put our examples? Oh, let's go back into the here. This is the web page. We have a Node.js, Express CRUD. So in our Docker file, we can update this to add our user. So here we create the volume for code, which creates the directory for it. And so after that this exists, we can now create the user that is not root, that will be running our code. Okay, so then we'll give that home directory that we've already created this. So in this case, we're going to do our run command, and we want to user add directory for /code. Don't create the home directory because it's already created for us, and then name it code. Okay, so then we switch over to using code, and then we have our health check, we have our command. I think, yeah, we don't do anything special. So at this point in time, we can now say user code. So I should be able to now recreate this. So we're going to do docker build express CRUD latest. I can also do express CRUD image with user. Okay, so there's our new, it used the cached everything else, and then here's our user adds and our work directory, which is like super fast to run. If we do a docker RMI, no, docker images for removing. There it is, express CRUD image with user. So now docker ps, we have nothing running. So I want to do a docker run. Okay, so we're going to run background express CRUD. Now I have this already created, so I'm going to do this with the user, right? So express CRUD pg user. We give it the password for the database. Oh wait, no, this is a PG. We already have you. Okay, so here, this one. Sebastian, hello. How are you doing today? If I hold control, I cannot move faster because I don't have that set up in my terminal. Or otherwise, wait a second. Maybe I do. Hold on, let me lock. Nope, still doesn't work. So yeah, I don't have that set up in Alacrity here. So that won't do it. Now I can go to like the beginning like that and then move up. And then I can, is it W? No, that deletes them. Well, now, okay. I can't remember what command it is to jump word to word. Control W deletes a word, so I need to do something else. And then I should probably also figure out what the keyboard combination to go into Vim mode for Alacrity, because that would kind of fix it all. But I look it up and then I immediately forget it, like the next time I go to use it. So it doesn't really help. Okay, so this is PG again still. So this is, okay, this is the express CRUD. Oh, I forgot to give it a name. So we can give you a name. The name is going to be Express CRUD, maybe. Express CRUD name. Let's give it a different port because I think the other one is alive on that. Everything else I think is the same. So if we run you, oh no, I didn't want that. I want Express CRUD with, oh, it's Express CRUD image with user. Okay, so if we do that, you're up and running, which means that I should be able to hit you. Can I do a curl to 4001? That's not looking great. Oh, I need to start. Okay. Docker PSA. Docker start Express CRUD PG. Kind of need a database for this. So now I should be able to curl. There you go. And now that works. Is there a way for me to prove? How do I prove that command is being run by that user? I could use a maybe top, maybe PS. This Docker exec bin bash. Oh, I need to IT. Let's see. Okay, so if I do top, yeah, okay, so user code is running npm run dev. So that shows that very nicely there. Okay, perfect. So we go back to you. Let's see. Running the container without root. How do I want to name this? This is going to be not root in Docker. You could ask them nicely. Well, I could try. Let's see. Running as Docker. Running as user, running not using root. That not doesn't sound right. Custom, I guess like custom user in Docker images. Custom user in Docker. Custom users in Docker. All right. Okay, so we're going to create a new user in the Docker file. Now, the problem with this doesn't solve all security problems, obviously, because the root user still exists. So if somebody were to get an escalation attack and somehow gain access to the shell and root inside of the Docker container, then we're obviously kind of screwed with that. Now, we didn't give this user a password, so, and there's no SSH setup, so they can't SSH in, through either of those systems. We're only opening up the one port that we're listening on, and it's not one of the main ports, so that should be okay. And we're listening to it with our thing, but heck, there still could be issues, obviously. So it protects us in that it makes it slightly harder to get access to the root account from, well, not root. And I don't even think that root has a password in it, right? So like if you are able to get access to that user, you should not be able to run something. And we could lock it down even further where it can only like run one command or do something else, but I don't know if we need to do that. So yeah, we're just gonna go with we're just gonna lock it down to this one user that has minimum privileges because it has its own group, it has its own user, and basically anything that we'd have to add it to other groups, that user, to be able to do stuff. Okay. Okay, so here's where we can come back over here. Let's go ahead and exit. Exit out of here. Don't exit out of this. Okay. So we're putting you in here. Wait, is that Docker file? Is that an option? I don't remember if I've been using that. Okay. Is it volume or volumes? It's volume. Okay, so I want to find, yeah, man page user add. This is fine. I'm sort of going over what this is anyways, so that'll be okay. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the user add command, this will create a new user on a Linux system. We're using Ubuntu. Let's see. The Node.js image now, is there a way for me to see what it's using? Does it tell me? Not in there, but they have their official images. I don't know which one I want. Oh, check the tags, then click the version you want. Okay, yeah, let's try that. So check the tags. We're using, what are we using? Oh, just 20, I think. And then that's the operating system. Oh, but then there's those. Okay, so let's go into you. Oh, they're starting from Debian. Is that right? That's okay. So they're not starting from Ubuntu. They're starting from a Debian. Okay. So Debian. Let's see. The Node.js image is okay, hold on. I went too far. So I want. Oh no. Okay. So hold on. Okay, the Node.js image is based on Debian. In the tags page. So, okay, so I'm creating a user in the Linux system. The Node.js image is based on Debian, as we can see in the tags page. So we can use Debian-based commands like the one linked okay, so we can use user add meant for Debian, Ubuntu, or any it's basically just like the core, because I think is user add slightly different for Red Hat based? I don't remember. Okay, so we do that. For user add, Let's see. We're using the D option to set the home directory to /code. Okay, so we're doing this since we're already using that directory for where the what am I thinking? For where the something is going. Oh, where the code, where we're mounting. Okay, so there's that. So let's see. Then the -m. Groovy, hello. How you doing today? Don't worry about being late. Everything is fine. We're here. It's a drop-in system, right? Drop in, drop out. Okay, so the -m option tells user add to not create the home directory. This is important since we've already created it. And then finally, okay, is the name of the user that we're creating. Okay, so what we can do then, let's create a new container. Oh, we have to recreate the image. Let's okay, so the previous image that we had won't include this new change. Now, if we quit out of view, yeah, so we have that right here. Oh, gross. What's that? Why is that looking so weird? Oh, I guess that's just how it looks. Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay, so then I did Docker images. So we have you. I don't think I had Ubuntu latest, so we just leave it with that. Let's see, you're doing great. Managed to get Bazel with Rust working yesterday evening, and it uses the default Cargo to Toml files. Now rewriting the loop WebSocket thing. I already found out how to abstract away the loop. The magic keyword is error handling. Well, error handling does make things look nicer, doesn't it? That is always nice. All right. So let's see. We got you here like that. We have ad starting in 5 minutes or so for our first break. So let's see. Okay, so we have our image like that, so we can now see here's our with user. And then okay, so we can create our new container. Add it to the network. And just give it a different name. So it can run at the same time. I almost put Rust in there. That's not what I want. Okay, so we have this one right here. So launch you. Okay, so I did give it a different port on the host side. So there we go with that. We can now connect to the container to verify that okay, so we can now connect to the container to verify that the application is being run by our new code user. All right, so this is now two things. So first we'll do the top, right? So we'll Docker exec into here, and then we'll just run top. But then we already see that we're in code right here, so that's the username. And then we grab you. Okay, so we have top. Okay, so here's our top. And so we can see user code is running all the things for us, which is perfect. Let's see, for further proof, we can check the password file. It's passed up, yeah, password would be file to see the user information for code. And I did that up here somewhere, didn't I? Oh, I didn't do that in this one. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we see here at the end, here's our code. Let's see. Okay, so we're good to go with that one. All right, ad break has started. Bomero, good morning. I don't know if you got hit by the ads immediately after starting, but I'm gonna I'm gonna switch over to sitting mode because I've started in standing today. Although maybe I won't because that will bother Zilby. So I think I'll just hang out here. But we'll pet Zilby and do some stretches. Hi. Oh, your team pet the cat. We can do that. Pet the cat time. Cat large. Hey. Okay. Well, now we're back to this. The cat is having none of it. That's exactly it. Yeah. The cat is having none of that. Oh, and he's purring too. You can hold your cat for 5 seconds before she's like, I'm done with it, I'm out, and start violently moving. That happens every once in a while with Zilby, but when he wants to be held, he wants to be held for like a little while. I can tell now he's starting to get the idea that he might want to move, but he's tired right now, and so like being held is like easier. Are you done? Okay, here. Well, back to here. She was a street cat, so she's not used to any petty. Oh yeah. Feral cats. Street cat abandoned. Yeah. Any cat that like grew up on the streets, like, yeah. I can imagine that. I remember going to one of the, what is it called? I went to one of the shelters around here, and they had a special room for basically cats who were still getting used to humans. They were they were in the middle of being socialized. They weren't dangerous, not to each other, and they weren't dangerous to humans, but they were scared of everybody. And so they actually they actually basically said like, hey, if you want to just come in here, they need to be near humans that won't abuse them, just to get used to the idea that humans aren't all bad and terrible. And so we went in there and just sat down at the edge, on the floor, and just didn't pay attention to them. There was like 3 or 4 of them in there, and they were so cute and so young, and it was so sad to like see cats that like had just basically lost, like they were either had been feral and like never knew humans, or had lost their trust of humans, which sucks. But hey, now have that cat living with you, right? So that means that they're living a much better life than they were living before, and they most likely understand and know that. Yeah, she still gets scared very easily, although she's already 13 years old now and living. I mean, everything can remind us, like, right? Like trauma is so hard already in us humans, and we can speak to each other, and we can go to psychologists, and we can get help. Cats, that's much harder. Like they can't really tell us what's going on, and we can't like have them do great introspection to like learn how to get better. Do you want to go onto my chair? I'll move my chair over for him so he can hang out there, since he does like to. No, okay, here, I won't. Here, try it again. Sophie, you can try it again. I know you won't. There. It won't. It turned when he started to go on it because he didn't go straight onto it, and so it freaked him out a little bit. But he's good now. Let's jump back into this. And I guess, hold on, let me try. Let's see if this angle works.